In late October 2025, a long chapter in American air defense history came to a close at Barnes Air National Guard Base in Westfield, Massachusetts, when the final F-15C Eagle fighters of the 104th Fighter Wing took off for their last flight. For almost 2 decades, the sound of those twin afterburning engines had been a familiar part of life in western Massachusetts, a symbol of American vigilance and the power of the U.S. Air Force. The moment represented not just the end of a type of aircraft at one base but the conclusion of a mission era defined by the constant readiness of citizen airmen who stood watch over the nation's northeastern skies. The 104th Fighter Wing began flying the F-15C in 2007, after the Air Force reassigned the mission from the 102nd Fighter Wing at Otis Air National Guard Base. This move was part of a larger realignment following the events of September 11, 2001, which had underscored the importance of rapid response air defense near major population centers. Barnes was chosen because of its location and its proven ability to support around-the-clock operations. From that point on, the 104th became responsible for defending the airspace of the northeastern United States under the command of NORAD. The unit maintained crews on alert 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with pilots, maintenance teams, and ground support personnel ready to launch on a moment's notice. Scramble alerts could come without warning, often in the middle of the night or during severe weather, and within minutes, the Eagles would roar into the sky to intercept unidentified or unauthorized aircraft. This demanding mission required precision, discipline, and teamwork, and the men and women of the 104th consistently delivered. The F-15C itself was a fighter that had already built an extraordinary record before arriving at Barnes. Designed as a pure air superiority aircraft, it was unmatched in performance for decades, with an undefeated record in aerial combat. Its combination of power, agility, radar capability, and reliability made it the cornerstone of American air dominance during the late 20th and early 21st centuries. At Barnes, the Eagle was adapted perfectly to the homeland defense mission, where speed and altitude were critical. The aircraft could scramble quickly, climb rapidly, and reach targets over the Atlantic or across the Northeast Corridor within minutes. Over the years, it became an essential part of the regional security architecture. As the years passed, the F-15C fleet at Barnes aged but continued to perform at a high level thanks to meticulous maintenance and a strong safety culture. The 104th Fighter Wing earned recognition for readiness and mission success rates, reflecting both technical skill and dedication. Many of its airmen developed lifelong attachments to the aircraft, seeing it not just as a machine but as a living symbol of their duty. The roar of the afterburners during early morning launches became part of the local identity of Westfield, and residents came to take pride in the sound of the Eagles overhead, knowing that those flights represented the defense of the nation's airspace. On October 23, 2025, the final 3 Eagles at Barnes taxied to the runway for their last takeoff. The pilots for the flight were Col. David Moonhollis Kuhn, the 104th Fighter Wing Commander, and 2 younger pilots, First Lt. Kyle Nuke Eckert and First Lt. Eric Gronk Flynn. For Eckert and Flynn, the event was particularly meaningful. Both had started their military careers as maintainers, working on the F-15s they would later fly. Their progression from enlisted maintainers to commissioned pilots represented the opportunity and dedication that the Air National Guard provides. As the engines came to life and the aircraft taxied out, hundreds of current and former members of the unit, along with families and community supporters, gathered along the flight line to witness the departure. The 3 jets took off in formation, climbed over the base, made a final loop, and then headed west toward Arizona, where they would be retired at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. For the people watching, the moment carried both pride and melancholy, the pride of a mission accomplished and the sadness of knowing an era was closing. After the flight, members of the 104th reflected on the legacy of their F-15C operations. Over 18 years, the unit had maintained constant alert status, performed intercepts, and participated in exercises across the country and with allied nations. They had taken part in events honoring veterans, supported community airshows, and contributed to a sense of shared purpose between the base and the surrounding community. The bond between the people of Westfield and the airmen of Barnes was strong, built on years of mutual respect. Pilots and maintenance crews often spoke about how community support motivated them to maintain their high standards, knowing that every successful launch and safe return reinforced public confidence in the mission. The retirement of the F-15C at Barnes was not a sign of decline but a part of the Air Force's ongoing modernization strategy. As technology and global threats evolve, the service planned to replace older fourth-generation fighters with newer platforms designed to operate in more complex environments. The 104th Fighter Wing was selected to transition to the F-35A Lightning II, a fifth-generation multirole fighter. This move signified trust in the unit's professionalism and capacity to manage advanced systems. Preparations for the transition had already begun by the time the last F-15s departed. Infrastructure upgrades were underway, and selected pilots had been sent to the F-35 formal training program to learn the new aircraft's systems and tactics. The first F-35s are scheduled to arrive at Barnes in the summer of 2026, marking the start of a new phase for the base and the community. The introduction of the F-35A will significantly expand the capabilities of the 104th Fighter Wing. Unlike the F-15C, which was dedicated primarily to air superiority, the F-35A is a stealth multirole platform capable of conducting air-to-air, air-to-ground, and intelligence missions simultaneously. It can operate undetected in contested environments and share information across networks in real time, providing a level of situational awareness unmatched by earlier aircraft. This transformation ensures that Barnes will remain a critical node in the national defense network, equipped to respond to future challenges. For the airmen transitioning to the new aircraft, it represents the continuation of their mission under a new banner, combining decades of operational experience with cutting-edge technology. Even as the F-15Cs left Barnes, not all of the nation's Eagles were being retired. A number of airframes in excellent condition were being upgraded and designated as Platinum Eagles, extending their service life through the end of the decade. These aircraft continue to perform homeland defense missions in other Air National Guard units, including the 144th Fighter Wing in California. The Air Force's long-term plan calls for the eventual replacement of the F-15C fleet with the new F-15EX Eagle II, which builds on the original Eagle's design but incorporates advanced avionics, electronic warfare capabilities, and expanded weapons capacity. This approach allows the Air Force to maintain a mix of stealth and high-capacity fighters, ensuring that the United States retains global air superiority across a wide range of missions. The closure of the F-15 chapter at Barnes was emotional for many who had served with the aircraft. For the pilots, maintainers, and support staff who spent years mastering the F-15C, the aircraft represented excellence, reliability, and purpose. Many spoke about the precision required to keep the jets mission ready and the pride that came with seeing them perform flawlessly during alert scrambles. The F-15 had earned a reputation as one of the safest and most capable aircraft in service, with an unmatched record in air-to-air combat and decades of dependable performance. That reputation carried through to the Air National Guard, where the same standards of excellence were maintained. Every takeoff symbolized the skill and dedication of thousands of airmen across generations. The community around Barnes has played a vital role in supporting the base through each stage of its evolution. Local residents, businesses, and civic leaders have consistently backed the mission, understanding that the base's presence contributes to both national defense and local prosperity. The partnership between the base and Westfield exemplifies the relationship between the Air National Guard and the American people it serves, a partnership grounded in trust, mutual respect, and shared values. As the F-35 era begins, that relationship remains central to the mission's success. The final F-15 flight at Barnes was not just a symbolic act, it was a demonstration of how the United States manages change in its military forces. Rather than viewing retirement as loss, the transition represents renewal and adaptation. The same principles that defined the Eagle era, discipline, readiness, and technological excellence, will guide the next phase of operations. The Air Force continues to build on its experience, applying lessons learned from decades of air defense to the systems that will protect the nation in the future. The departure of the F-15C from Barnes stands as both a farewell and a reaffirmation of American airpower. It honors the service of those who maintained and flew the aircraft while pointing forward to the innovations that will define the next generation of defense. The people who gathered on that October day to watch the Eagles lift off for the last time witnessed not just the end of an aircraft story, but the continuation of the enduring American commitment to strength, readiness, and the defense of its skies.